Shwmai, croeso, hello and welcome to another episode of the Bluebirds Nest, which will be one of those episodes that we really get to see behind the scenes at Haverfordwest County as my two guests return. It's approaching a year into their roles within the club, so they'll be able to give us an update on all the great things they've got going on. But before anything else, only right we kick off this week by congratulating Kerry Phillips, Gareth Lewis, the rest of the coaching staff, and obviously the players and everyone associated with the development squad this season and for the years leading up to last Sunday, where we were crowned the FAW Youth Cup champions. A fantastic achievement. Great number of Bluebirds supporters enjoying the sunny day up in Aberystwyth to watch the boys overcome Carnarvon 2-1. So again, a massive congratulations to everybody associated with that. They're rightfully history makers. The first youth team from the club to get their hands on that trophy. Now then, with regards to this week's episode, as we head towards a Friday night live Nest from Cardiff Met, we're going to chat through almost everything that proves we are just much more than just a football club and much more than just the 90 minutes on the pitch every week. As you can see, joining me, Harry Thomas, our community manager, and Alaric Jones, player, and also our commercial manager. Welcome both.
Thank you, Ry. Nice one for having us.
Cheers, Ry. Thanks for having us back, mate.
No problem.
It's nice to be on together, H.
It is. I see enough of you.
You can see the camaraderie and the work relationship has really kicked off with you, pair, and we'll get into everything that you've both been up to. But first, Al, a bit of a quick update on your recovery then. So you were injured back, I think it was 1st of February, I think it was actually, certainly the start of February. Yeah, a nasty hand injury, wrist injury. What was the official diagnosis? And I suppose, what does the next few weeks look like for you from a potential return to playing?
Yeah, you were right. 1st of Feb, hell of a mess. And watching it back, I never should have went for the header. But yeah, landed awkwardly on a wrist, kind of this angle, and broke 4 bones and dislocated my wrist. So yeah, hell of a mess. But I've had all the operations now, so I had 2 to realign it and kind of put some bolts in there. And then the wires that were temporary came out on Friday, just gone. So I'm out the cast in this bandage, which is pretty. But yeah, next week now kind of chill out. And then once I get the stitches out, I can get into a brace sort of thing and get back on the training pitch, which is nice.
Fantastic. So there's potential for you to be playing in the next couple of weeks then, maybe?
Well, I went up to physio in the hospital today, actually. And until they had confirmation from my x-ray, they couldn't tell me in black and white. But I mentioned the dates of potential playoffs, and they said they can't see any reason why I can't be involved. So that's the aim now, yeah. Excellent.
Well, we wish you well with that recovery and look forward to seeing you back on the meadow in the near future.
Yeah.
Harry, let's start with you then. Match days, what they've been looking like for you in particular. And if you've been down to the Augie Bridge Meadow recently, you'd know that they've been extra special, I suppose. Not only the attendances, but we've had mascots and the new flag bearers from local clubs joining us every week, walking out with the team, bringing a lot of colour, energy and excitement around the place. I think you see it, whether it's their first time on the meadow or their 10th, you can see it's a moment they'll never forget when they do that. So in your role, that must be a really great way for us to connect with the people and the community in Pembrokeshire.
Yeah, it is. It's so rewarding. And the conversations I have with parents, guardians, walking throughout the town and stuff is great. And they love it. I mean, the pictures of their children on the pitch, they've got it blown up on canvases in the house. And I mean, that's the reason why we do it. We want to make lasting supporters and, grow the Cleddau Casuals, essentially. Yeah, it's been great. I mean, we've been proud to film mascots and flag bearers at pretty much all of our games. In Carmarthen, we had mascots that could be a birthday party. It was just members of the public, and to try and fill those slots. But since we come home to the Augie Bridge Meadow, we work with local clubs. Pembroke Community School being one, which I'm sure we'll touch on after, or I'd like to definitely. And yeah, it's great to see, the buzz around it, and even jumping on at half time just for them to have a kickabout or a crossbar challenge, or, it's memories that we want to make and, hope they enjoy.
Definitely. Al, you've been leading a lot of the things going on off the field on a match day. I think when we last spoke, we were still playing in Carmarthen, but you were certainly putting plans in place to develop that match day experience, to get the great crowds turning up for. I genuinely feel, it's an experience. The match day now isn't just about turning up to watch the football. what have been the aims and objectives of the home games, and how do you feel they've gone then since returning?
Yeah, really good. Our attendance numbers are showing that. I certainly can't take all the credit. H definitely does a lot of work as well. But yeah, getting vendors in has been massive for us. There's ones like Get Loaded that are local, which we'd love to support local businesses. But then also now next Saturday coming, we've got Dirty Knocky coming down that are kind of, well, I'd say famous. They're well known on social media in Cardiff Market. So that brings kind of a different experience for fans who can come and not only see the game, but try some foods they might not otherwise try. And from a selfish perspective, on the pitch, it definitely helps having a massive crowd cheer. Yeah. So doing the best we can to kind of keep people coming in is massive for everyone. I think one thing we spoke about is pretend everyone who's in year, it's their first time. So whether they are a fan who's been coming 10 years or it is genuinely someone's first time, kind of making a lasting impression and making sure they come back is a massive thing for us. And our attendance numbers are showing we're doing a fairly decent job of that.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been great to see that engagement, you know, the big crowds, and it bodes well for us going forward. You know, it all interlinks, I think. Like you said, Hitch, the mascots are there. They bring their families who all stick around, utilize the facilities, the entertainment, the vendors, and it just creates that great buzz, doesn't it? You know, and recently you mentioned the Pembroke Dock Community School. They've had the opportunity to come in and be mascots. They came in great numbers. It was fantastic to see all those guys there a couple of weeks ago. But you've been working closely with them, Hitch, as well as like the extracurricular school program, I think. That's been keeping you busy, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. So we've got a really nice link with Tom Poole, who's a teacher in the school, but he's also on our fan representative group.
Okay.
So he's bridged the gap between the school and us, really. Yeah. So we deliver 2 hours a week in there on a Friday afternoon, delivering their health and wellbeing provisions. So just trying to get as many children as we can active that stay after schools, because they have a half day on a Friday, which certainly wasn't a thing in my primary school. Otherwise, that'd have probably changed. But yeah, I mean, thoroughly enjoyable. It's not just myself that's been going in there. Aaron Thomas and a number of other of our community coaches have gone in. And we've captured it recently in a case study. Obviously, you've worked on some of that footage and things, and to be able to show us going into the local community. You know, Pembroke is about 25 minutes, maybe half hour on a busy day away. You know, our tagline's playing for Pembrokeshire, so we're keen to get into schools right across the county. Step Aside School is probably the furthest that we're in, which is nice and local for me. But yeah, we've hopefully captured, children that have never been to the Oggy Bridge Meadow before, coming in. They've enjoyed the health and wellbeing session, so they've signed up for the mascot experience, and as you said, it's hopefully will be captured, in a really nice case study. And as Alaric touched on there, it was a lot of their first times. I think over 80% of the children that came, it was their first time. And they walk in and Pure West Radio are blasting music. They're on the mic, the hospitality boxes are full, the bright lights, and they just walk in. There's vendors, and it's brilliant. So that's what we want to build on for next season, but make sure we finish strong now for the last game of the season on the 19th.
Definitely. Yeah, it all sounds fantastic. We're always keen to build more links, like you say, across the county. So if a school teacher or a school community member here is listening and wants to get involved, best way to contact you?
Yeah, just on the email on screen. We work with 4 schools until the end of the academic year, and we're hoping to build on that next year. So yeah, feel free to get in touch.
Fantastic. Slightly older pupils who've been in attendance for a project you've been involved in. I must say, a really good group of pupils from Halfwest High School, sixth formers. They came down to engage with, I suppose, some work experience activities. How has that worked?
Yeah, it was something we've been really keen to do, kind of from 2 perspectives. One, to offer work-based learning. From a personal experience, I know when I was in university, the kind of most beneficial things I got were from my placements. I think you can do all the stuff in textbooks in the world, but going out and getting into the real world is really where you learn. So there was that, and kind of showing children that there is an opportunity to work in sport in Pembrokeshire. People think it's limited, but having a club like this on your doorstep is really something to be proud of, and get involved if you can. And then probably from a more selfish perspective, we kind of wanted to learn from them. Football in Pembrokeshire has probably been followed by an older generation traditionally. So we kind of want to target that younger audience and learn from them. And to be fair to them, they were amazing on the match day itself, kind of taking over the day. But the conversations we had surrounding that on what we can learn and how we can kind of attract people their age was really interesting. And it's definitely some things we're going to implement moving into next season to try and capture that crowd.
That's awesome. Yeah, and well, I do hope to get a couple of those pupils on the Nest in the coming weeks, perhaps. So it'd be great to hear directly from them and hopefully see, because I know a number of them worked on sort of capturing videos and some presenting skills, etc., on the match day. I think they're after my job, but it'd be great to see some of the content that they put together over the next few weeks. Excellent. That's, as we knew it would be, really positive and exciting. There's big news on the horizon, and I suppose a bit of a Nest exclusive here, Hitch. We are really proud in the fact that we've officially submitted plans for us to have a charitable arm of the football club. This has been a long time in the making, and it's certainly part of the Bluebird strategy and vision documentation, and across the FAW. It's things that clubs are looking to do, but we've made our move. Big step in the making, and ensure that, I suppose, the work we do in the community goes even further, lasts longer, and probably reaches more people as well. I think there's health and well-being, education, inclusion. There's all sorts of opportunities we can do with this off the pitch. But yeah, Hitch, you've been busy with this, so congratulations to you and everyone involved for getting the application in. What do you think it's going to offer us and the wider community going forward, all being well, that it gets approved?
Yeah, fingers crossed. It went in last week, so we await confirmation from the Charity Commission. But exactly what you said, really. We want to be a club that's really present across the county, right across Pembrokeshire, and however we can increase our outreach, we're keen to do that. So working with local community groups, collaborating on different sessions and events. I wouldn't say we can only go so far, but I think this charitable arm is going to really kick us on. It's going to give us access to more grants and funding that have potentially been a barrier, in the current state that we are now. So I think it just gives us an extra boost, really, and as much we can do off the pitch is great. So all those collaborations that we've created and the plans in the future will sit underneath the charity. So obviously my previous employer was Swansea City Foundation. I was there for 8 years, and you've obviously got the football club, but you've got the charitable arm alongside it. So yeah, if we can get that over the line and make any amendments that we need to make or anything like that, and sit all the community provision within the charity, I think it's going to put us in a really strong stage in a couple of years.
Definitely fantastic, and again, congratulations on that. I look forward to hearing announcements in the near future. One recent announcement that you've been integral as part of, Al, the Half West County Golf Day is being resurrected this season, Friday the 23rd of May. A great chance to show off your swing, or at least try to, down at Milford Haven Golf Club. I've personally assembled 2 Hall of Famers, actually, and a league winner in Pembrokeshire this season to form a team. Looking forward to competing on the day. Fingers crossed we can have some weather like we've had in the last week or so. Any spaces for teams left, Al, and what's planned for the day?
Yes, it's really exciting, right? Again, I can't steal H's thunder. We've worked on it together.
I didn't realise that.
H has done a lot of work as well. But yeah, really exciting. It's something, last summer, it was probably before me and H kind of came into our roles properly, but you see golf days. I played it a few very badly. I may have. But yeah, something we wanted to do. It's kind of a nice thing, one for the players to kind of be with supporters. It's quite a relaxed environment where they probably don't get that at the ground. It's kind of business for the players when they're here. So kind of getting them onto a golf course where they can relax and enjoy themselves is quite a nice opportunity for fans to do that. And then as well as that, it's kind of adding some value to our partners and sponsors, kind of getting them down, kind of a networking event for them as well, to kind of we'll have an opportunity to speak to people at the club and speak to like-minded people. But yeah, we had a check earlier. I think we've got a few teams remaining, so you'll have to be quick. I'm not sure H would like to hear it, but we may have to expand how many teams we've got if it keeps going like it is. But yeah, the day itself's really exciting. We've got West Presents there, who's actually an old school friend of mine, but he's doing really well now DJing. So they're there for the evening entertainment. We've got Get Loaded, who a few of our fans will recognise, I'm sure, supplying lovely food as they always do. And then on top of that, we've got a few exciting things. I'm not sure if we're spilling the tea on what's going on the putting green, H. So maybe maybe we'll keep that up our sleeve. But yeah, a few different fun things after the round itself, and hopefully a good day in the sun to celebrate a nice year that we've had.
Fantastic. Oh, fair play. You know, I keep saying that each of you are leading these things, but it's clear to see that you're collaborating as a pair. You know, you're the I won't call you the Chuckle Brothers, but you've done well at the club, and you know, and it's great to see the synergy between the two of you for lots and lots of things. Al, you mentioned networking there. You know, there's loads the club can be doing, and again, another thing we've sort of launched recently was the Bluebirds Business Club, which was a number of sponsors and club partners attended. To be fair, you were a fantastic speaker for the first session, and yours truly. What are the plans taking that forward then?
So it's actually something that one of our partners came to us suggesting. She'd been to a few in the local area that charged, which kind of put some people off. And when she mentioned it to us, it was a no-brainer. I think stereotypically in football and kind of in sport in general, sponsorship can be seen as just an exchange of money, and you get your board and that's it. So something I've really been keen to do is kind of add value to a partnership. So whether that's coming into the ground and mingling and networking with like-minded people in the area, if that's one of the things we can do, we're definitely going to try and do it. So as you said, we had a nice guest speaker on the day, yours truly. So yeah, there's options with it moving forward. There's a feedback form going out this week, along with some conversations that I've had kind of off the record with the people who attended. But whether it is guest speakers like yourself with offerings that can be of benefit to our businesses that we partnered with, or whether it is simply just getting into a room and kind of discussing all things going on in Pembrokeshire, I think no matter what you do and what the agenda is, I think as long as you're in here, you're going to take something away from it. A great example of that is we spoke to someone at the bar after the meeting itself has ended, and just casual conversations quickly lead to, I know someone who can help you with this, or I know someone who might be good for this, or conversations like this. But unless you're in the room together, you don't have them. I mean, it takes a couple of days to get a conversation out over email, doesn't it? And it takes 10 minutes in the club. So yeah, doing that moving forward is definitely something we're going to continue with.
Brilliant. Well, fingers crossed you had good feedback from the first session. When you say that, I don't want to see it.
No, it was all good, man. All good.
If anybody does want to get involved in a future event then that you're hosting, again, do they need to register, or is it a case of just dropping you an email to declare their interest?
So for the first one, we did have a registration form, which we will continue to do moving forward. So once the date is set in stone for the next one in May, which we have discussed this week internally, there'll be a form going out. But to get involved, just drop me an email, and the email on screen, and we can discuss how we'll move forward with you coming along.
Excellent. Harry, back to you now, and I'm hoping you're the right person to talk about Parkinson's football. I've heard a whisper that there's going to be a new initiative offering this sort of community support group. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, firstly, Al, you need to start taking credit for stuff. We do work closely together, but it's not just me, mate. But yeah, the Parkinson stuff's really exciting. So we're in partnership with Sport Parkinson's, the FAW and EFL in the community to deliver Parkinson's football. And there's two kind of streams to it, really, why we've been selected. One is the community work that's going on, and the second one is because of the demographic in Haverfordwest and the local area. You know, there are a lot of people living with Parkinson's. So on the 11th of April, Friday, we'll be releasing an expression of interest for anybody who is living with Parkinson's or is a carer or family member, just to almost tailor the provision and shape the provision for the need and the wants in the local area. I mean, I can't think of a better day than to put it out than World Parkinson's Day. So hopefully that will get some good traction and reach as many people as we can. But whether we do the provision in a local sports hall for different reasons, or whether we are on the Oggy Bridge Meadow, it's going to be really exciting. And hopefully, as you mentioned earlier, programs like this can continue to come to the football club and are long lasting and really impactful. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I want to add to that. If anyone watching does know anyone with Parkinson's, please let them know. Not for our sake, but I think it was clear from the training H did last week. The effect it has is crazy. On a personal note, my nan's currently got Parkinson's, and for her to have an outlet, I'm not sure she's the footballing type, but to have an outlet like this to come and kind of again meet people, get out the house even. It really can be impactful on people's lives. So yeah, if you know anyone who may be interested, please pass the message on for us.
Yeah, and as you said there, it's not just the football side of it that we're looking at. I mean, to have a coffee and a catch up in the club afterwards, or these are all the things that are on the expression of interest. You know, the football can be secondary, to a lot of these things. And if football is secondary, maybe we don't even kick a ball. But if we can facilitate some really impactful provision, then as a club, we're going to be happy with that.
That's incredible, guys. Fair play for getting involved in that. Sounds a great initiative and inspiring that. And like, as you said there, you might not, some people might just want to come and have that sort of community feel, and almost speak to others in a similar situation, family members as well, perhaps having a bit of support over a coffee could just be the bit of respite almost that they need during perhaps a day as a carer of a family member, etc. So yeah, as you've outlined there, I think it'd be really good if supporters and followers of Haverfordwest County are watching this, listening to this, and know of anyone. Please do spread the word on that, because I'd imagine, again, you mentioned there your elderly nan. She might not have social media. She certainly might not watch the Bluebirds Nest. So
she'll be watching.
But it's we need the sort of the community to support us with this, to raise awareness. So best of luck with that. We'll certainly be sharing it on our social medias, etc. Also, there's a walking football tournament, I believe, with Path in Pembrokeshire.
There is, yeah. So this was previously arranged, but it was cancelled due to the weather. We moved a 16s game, which Steve Batty wasn't very happy about. But yeah, so it's on the 27th of April. I think they filled their teams again, so I think their capacity is 24. I think, and yeah, it promises to be a great day. So the aim is to raise funds for local charities. So Pembrokeshire Action for the Homeless have done a lot of great work. Dean Flood has been the contact there that we're working with. The food hut will be open, the bar will be open. Get the Boys a Lift, I think, are confirming soon. It's going to be a great day. And since we've returned to the Ogley Bridge Meadow, it's going to be the biggest tournament that's been there, apart from a match day. It's going to feel very much like a match day and be, packed out. And that's what we want it to be. That's the whole purpose of the 3G, isn't it? So, yeah, it's all good.
Oh, that's fantastic news. Oh, best of luck with that. And again, information on screen about that one if anybody wants to come down and be in attendance. We've welcomed in another Waggy to the club soon, Martin Wagstaff from Trevelyan Football Club. I know Martin, great guy. What he's doing with his recently developed company, Springfield Advisory. He leads a powerful message about mental health and positive mental health. He opens up on conversations that matter. We've got a session coming up, Hitch. Who is this aimed for? What's the audience going to be on this one?
Yeah, so Al's probably in a better position to talk about the previous one, but I think one was held for the first team staff and players, which went down a storm. And recently when I met him for a coffee, it was a case of, this needs to reach as many people as it can. So if we can hold one for academy parents, internal staff, and the wider community at the Ogley Bridge Meadow, then that's what we're going to do. So we're yet to put a date in the diary, but there's one coming up. We want to put this provision then to other organisations and see what else is out there. But he does some fantastic work with mental health, and I was gutted to miss the last one, but if we can get another one in the diary, then great. And we've got him lined up for the business club as well. I think there's a lot of crossover that we can do on a number of projects with Waggy. So yeah, really exciting.
Definitely. Al, how did it go down with the players that then?
Yeah, really good. I think if you'd have told them a couple of weeks before what we were doing, they probably would have turned their nose up at it. But once you get into a room and kind of realize the type of guy Waggy is, he's one of us, which makes it more easy. I think as a footballer, if you want to call us that, it's not taboo, but you kind of probably feel like if you are feeling down, it might be seen as a weakness. But yeah, he kind of broke that down within 5 minutes and kind of told us his own story, which is really inspiring, and kind of made it so clear to all of us in the room that just because you play football and you act tough on the pitch for 90 minutes doesn't mean you are when you get home and you're on your own. So opening up about that really made a difference to the boys, and I know a few of us have had conversations after. And yeah, just it makes it clear to everyone that no matter who you are and what you do, mental health can affect anyone. So yeah, the more we can spread that alongside Get the Boys a Lift, there's a nice crossover there. So the work we're doing from a mental health perspective is really good, which is nice to see.
Definitely, yeah. You mentioned it, like the stigma around it, and
yeah,
going on behind closed doors, and if you don't have those conversations, what potentially going on, and Waggy explains that in his story, which is again another inspiring sort of journey through his own personal challenges, I suppose I'll say. So look forward to seeing Waggy back down at the Meadow soon. Information about that will be released at a later date. Looking forward to hearing all about the academy next. We've got a little trip right across the country, the west of Pembrokeshire, all the way to East Anglia. Norwich, I believe the academy you're heading to.
Yeah, so Mikey Loveridge has led on this. I think we've got over 60 players heading over to Norwich, which we're really proud of. And it's great that we're able to bring players from the boys' academy and the girls' academy together and go on a big trip at the end of the season. I was hoping it would be Pennsylvania, because of the links that we spoke about previously, but that's in the pipeline for a couple of seasons' time, maybe. But yeah, really exciting. They're going to go up there. They're going to have sessions from the Norwich coaches, going to have a look around there. Funnily enough, that their campus is called the Nest as well. So have a look around there. Hopefully meet a couple of players, a bit of a stadium tour. And it's just going to be really nice to get together, have an evening meal and just, linking back to that mental health, topic that we just spoke about. It's so important that, we link together, we have those conversations and reward the players for all their efforts across the season.
Awesome. Looking ahead, there's lots of opportunities. We've only probably spoken about a handful of them. There's lots in development as well, but there is one final one I want to pick up on in particular. It's something that the three of us have been collaborating on alongside a number of others as well. An exciting new initiative where supporters can effectively sponsor a part of the pitch going forward. There will be lots more details to come out soon on this. We feel it's a bit of an exclusive, and I'm sure that other clubs will see this and piggyback on, and magpie it, I suppose, and pinch it and use it themselves, because it's a great way for supporters and families involved with the club to get involved. We haven't quite agreed on a project title yet, Al, have we? But what's the principle of the idea then?
So again, I do honestly do some work, but this is Rye's doing. Rye's the creative brain around this. We had a few different options we discussed on kind of giving our real hardcore fans kind of a more what's the word? Immersive experience, maybe, is that right?
Yeah,
being part of the club, so everyone can come on a match day and stand on the side of the pitch like at every club, but we wanted to give them something a little bit more than that. So Rye's genius brain here got up the what 3 words image from above of the pitch, and yeah, kind of having the opportunity to have your own part of the pitch. It's not going to be expensive, it's not going to be anything stupid like that, but kind of having your recognition as that part of the pitch is mine, potentially having your name on the wall of a nice big graphic of the pitch and the segments that are designed. But yeah, just something again to give back to our fans. Like I say, it's not going to be expensive, but maybe a nice present for your dad if he's a lifelong fan, or for your son for Christmas. Just a nice thing where people can come in here and kind of feel that they really are part of the club and part of the furniture itself.
Yeah, definitely. And it sort of come from the idea that you can buy a star, realistically you get a certificate and things like that. And for some, that would be a fantastic present. For supporters, having an element, an area of the pitch that is associated to you for however long that duration of time is, I think it's an extra, like you say, it's that immersive experience. You're not only supporting the club, but you're almost owning a piece of the pitch for a period of time. I think there's a lot more that we can offer around it. We've spoken certificates, perhaps a photo near that location, etc. And looking at some of the words as well. For those that don't know, What 3 Words has scaled the world. I think it's a 3 by 3 meter shape. I think it is a square, grid lines from above, and each square globally has got its own unique 3 words. And I've looked at both penalty spots and they're completely random, the thing. So look forward to owning a part of the pitch at some point in the near future. Look forward to that being launched soon. Let's get to the present day now then. Al, we go up the road, up the M4 this week. Your old friends at Cardiff Met are our final away game of the season. Well, they're still in the hunt to finish as high as they possibly can, whilst we we aren't mathematically there yet. It's still everything to play for between us and Carnarvon for third spot. It's going to be a tough test. 3 points guarantees third spot for us. But what do you think it's going to be like, that battle? And it's always a tight game with us and the Archers.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like every time we're chatting, we're playing Met somehow. I'm sure last time we came on, it was. We can't get rid of them. But no, we all know what Met are like, fit and organised. And yeah, it's tough going there. I don't think we've had much joy in the last couple of years there. And yeah, it's the crunch time of the season. And I think even though they probably can't get, they can't get third. I think going into the playoffs in good form is important for them. And then, like you say, for us, it's a massive game, not only for momentum, but just to cement that third place and kind of put ourselves in the best position we can. Yeah, they're certainly going to think that they owe us one after we beat them down here 1-0 on the Meadow. And yeah, I spoke to CJ today, a friend who he's now captain up there, and he won't be speaking to me again until Saturday now. He's assured me they're right up for it, which is what we want to hear. I'm sure it's going to be a tasty game up there, which I'm looking forward to.
Definitely, always a good battle, like you say, against Met. It feels like we've played them a lot this season and in past seasons. But commentary, Bluebirds Nest live for the last time or on our away travels this week. You've promised me, Al, that you'd come on for a co-commentary at some point. I'm wondering whether will it be Friday night?
Oh, well, do you know, there's a few boys there I'd love to give a bit of stick to on the mic. Both our boys and theirs. But no, hopefully I can give you a bit of insight into both dressing rooms. So yeah, right, I'm up for it, mate.
Brilliant. You are another Nest exclusive. Joining me on co-commentary tomorrow night, Friday night at Kincoid Campus will be none other than Mr. Alaric Jones. Fantastic. Look forward to having a chat with you throughout the game. Hopefully it's an exciting one. It's been a couple of 0-0s the last time we've played the Archers, and they've been tough to commentate on, if I'm honest. But hopefully it's a lively one. Brilliant, boys. It's been really good to get an insight on everything that's going on. Congratulations to you both. You know, less than 1 year into your roles, you've made them your own. You're knocking it out of the park, it must be said. I'm sure everybody who's listened to this will be impressed with what's going on. Obviously, there's a wider off-field team that support you as well, so thank you to them and keep it up. But yeah, it's blown me away. It's a reminder about the sort of community and the connections that we're building across, and I think we're all really proud of what's going on off the field at the moment. Thank you for listening, gents. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you at Kincoid tomorrow evening then, Al.
Yeah, thank you for having us, Ryan.
Cheers, Ryan. Thanks a lot.